Hey, what's good, you guys? It's Boomer and Jared watching Bali Star. Today, we was getting into Sunny V2. He beefed with Cr1tikal, then lost 99% of his audience. Now, I have no idea who he's talking about that beefed with Mr. Moist, but he apparently what I'm saying, what they used to say about Rice Gum and Content Cop. You know what I'm saying? Like he got content copped or something, Like I forgot what they used to say that was like, what Content Cop would do to YouTubers' careers or something. What he used to do. But yeah. So let's see what's going on with this one right here, man. Let's get straight on into it. Let's go.
500,000 subscribers but only a few hundred views per video. The total collapse of his channel had been building for months beforehand, although the final nail in the coffin was an ill-fated beef with Penguin Zero, who also covered news and drama, although with one major difference: each creator's level of integrity. While Cr1tikal only covers topics that he's qualified to speak on, Def Noodles began to wreck his image by covering anything and everything with a sloppy, embarrassing, complete lack of research. For example, back when James Charles was being accused of grooming, a comedy TikToker named Sammy Sens posted an obviously fake James Charles chat log, captioned with the hashtags funny and meme, making it obvious that the screenshot was an edited joke. Well, Def Noodles rushed to his Twitter writing, "Who could have seen this coming? James Charles exposed by 14-year-old boy, apparently not even looking at the screenshot's original date, when James Charles would have still been a minor himself." To make Def Noodles' obvious lack of research worse, he'd then promote a second, even faker screenshot, with Def Noodles responding in the most immature way. He'd state, "This page is satirical, meaning it's not meant to be taken seriously. Tone is overly serious because it's meant to be satirical.
The way I present things is so serious, that's what's supposed to be the satire."
However, this move backfired terribly, as Keemstar would give Def Noodles a taste of his own fake satire.
Not very good
Def
use
Noodles
of,
has allegedly groomed girls from ages 12 to 15. Big YouTuber source: victims are scared of him and wish to stay anonymous but may come forward soon. Def Noodles has declined to give us a comment on these allegations made against him, with Def Noodles then responding to the mockery in another terrible way, by lawsuit.
"I'm now suing him to clear my name of these false allegations and to hold him accountable for knowingly making false accusations."
And as summarized by a comment reading, "He's been spiraling since the Keemstar lawsuit announcement. This is where Def Noodles' life completely fell apart. Because despite suing Keemstar for falsely tweeting about him being a pedo, Def Noodles went on to do this to another YouTuber named Papa Gut, while adding, 'Put this MF on a watch list, he looks mad suspicious.' When people called Def Noodles out for doing the same thing he was suing Keemstar for, Def Noodles claimed he hadn't wronged Papa Gut in any way because 1. My bio says comedian. 2. Since 2019 I've said I covered news as a joke and wasn't meant to be taken seriously. And 3. Saying someone looks like a pedo isn't an accusation, especially when they objectively look like a pedo. As a result, Papa Gut broke down live on stream.
This is a joke to you. It's a game to you. This isn't a game to me, Dennis. This is so real to me."
After which Def Noodles took a screenshot of Papa Gut crying and then turned it into a piece of his own merch. Comments such as, "The fact that Def is making fun of him for this is crazy," showed the audience was losing respect for Def Noodles.
Your platform is going away because you're unjustifiably targeting me?
Which began to show in Def Noodles' following, as for the first time ever he began to lose subscribers. Although rather than recalibrating and letting his reputation heal, it almost instantly jumped into another controversy that would ultimately end everything: a beef with Penguin Zero. In addition to reporting the news, Def Noodles had made the claim that he was apparently a professional comedian. He'd state, "I have a background in comedy. I trained literally for years as an improviser. I've performed in basically every major theatre and comedy venue in New York and LA. Every stand-up place, every place that you can think of and you can find on Google, I have performed there," which Def Noodles went on to prove by showing an awkward, unfunny clip of him performing live.
See that guy, boy, problem.
Def Noodles clearly couldn't see that he wasn't as good as he thought. However, this didn't stop him from opening his own 50.
I mean, we didn't really see the whole clip, and we heard a couple people laughing, so maybe he was getting to the joke. So
Person comedy club, christening the venue with an event called Super Roast Battle.
not that like I'm sticking up for him or anything, but it's like, bro, we can clearly see that he's getting to the joke. That he's acting out the joke right now. And a couple people were laughing. At least that what I've heard. You know what I'm saying? Going off a blind view into this, you know. Yeah, like, you know, just seeing this blind is like, that's what I'm seeing.
It ran for an hour and a half and was streamed to a live audience on both Twitch and YouTube, leaving no space for mercy if the event was a total failure, and a total failure the event would certainly be. The first 24 minutes saw the audience sitting there waiting, and it's therefore no surprise they weren't exactly hyped when Def Noodles finally started the show.
Alright, LA, are you ready? You ready? I don't know about this. I don't think we're gonna do the show anymore. This crowd's like, they're all asleep.
These 24 silent minutes were spent setting up the unprepared lighting and sound, which clearly hadn't been checked or rehearsed.
Oh, unless like the woo along with the clapping was all audio, you know what I'm saying? Audio put in there, you know what I'm saying? Because this seemed like it was audio put in there. You know, he had audio, you know, just sound off, you know what I'm saying? Just, I don't know, just to hype up the crowd or have the crowd go along with it or something. Maybe.
Turn on the lights. The wrong lights. Almost there. Wrong lights. So the lights are actually.
That's like audio.
Am I mic one? Hello.
Laughing.
Can you
Not
tell
actual
this is the
people.
first time doing this?
Although things only got worse when the roasts actually started.
You look like you woke up in a dumpster.
Probably. You're like my cousin if you were a girl.
Thank you. I bet you cried when you got those tattoos.
I did.
Def Noodles spent the hour telling the worst jokes the world had ever heard,
Okay, that was
in the
a
process picking up a 1-week Twitch ban for something said by one of the roasters. The event was so heavily criticized by the internet.
Def Noodles, this guy's just something else. I cannot believe what I just witnessed. I think I'm still trying to recover from it. This was honestly one of the more embarrassing things I've ever seen.
Def Noodles convinced himself the show was successful since it started a trend on Twitter, although it seemed this attitude changed completely. When Penguin Zero uploaded, I've never seen something this horrible.
This was a complete fucking disaster on a level I haven't seen before. Imagine Fire Festival, but if it actually happened and was worse than anyone could have imagined.
It's a
Critical
Fire
gave
Festival
a different
comedy.
take on why the show was a total failure.
Nobody knew each other. Literally nobody. So all they can do is roast each other's appearance because they don't know them.
Before offering a couple roasts of his own.
Like, this is what happens at like a middle school lunch table. It's like that episode of SpongeBob. Hey, so what's up with salt shakers? Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
However, Def Noodles couldn't handle his basic criticism, as he'd respond with his own
your
video titled
act.
My Apology to Moist Critical for First Super Roast Battles. Def Noodles spent the video
I forgot what they said
sarcastically
before that.
pretending he wasn't hurt.
The greatest crime that I committed was to have caused the great Moist Critical to cringe. Would like to extend my sincerest apologies for causing you to cringe while watching my roast battle. I am sitting here ludicrously buckling to my knees, self-deprecatingly acquiescing to the oh-so-great Moist Critical.
Joking he deserved the highest form of punishment for his failed comedy show.
Not only should I have been arrested and sent to the gulags, but I should have also been forced to live the rest of my miserable existence being waterboarded while Baby Shark plays on loop at max volume in the background, and 2 CIA torture experts electrocute the tip of my penis with tweezers.
In the 6 hours that followed, Def Noodles received a 90% dislike ratio, a loss of 3,000 subscribers, and thousands of comments completely and utterly wrecking him. This is obviously trying to be ironic, but the layers of actual self-pity and insecurity make this very hard to watch. You can tell Charlie hurt his feelings. This is cringier than the roast battle itself, so much that Critical came back to spank him again.
This is going to be me talking about his
Spank him
response
again, it's
video,
crazy.
which I think is a very important lesson in how not to handle controversy.
However, the most notable announcement for the previous 2 videos was that Def Noodles Noodles had doubled down by scheduling another roast battle,
The only way for me to make this situation right again is to produce another roast.
which somehow became even worse than the first one.
Alright, so Def Noodles hosted another one of his roast battles, and he somehow outdid himself. I could not believe what I was watching. I've never seen anything like this.
Because rather than casting a bunch of local comics, Def Noodles chose to invite his mortal enemy Salvo Pancakes, who filled the audience with his fans who were there to cause some chaos. The audience sat there waiting even longer than the first battle, and when Def Noodles finally walked out from the back, his roasts were physical rather than verbal. After shoving Salvo Pancakes, he'd get his revenge by walking through the crowd and onto the stage, signing his own Salvo Pancakes posters, completely disrupting the show. This should have been the perfect chance for Def Noodles to roast his enemy, although in true Def Noodles fashion he hadn't prepared material, and would instead get roasted by Salvo.
If we were here, there would be nobody in the crowd.
After having a drink thrown on him, Salvo was forced out of the show by security, with the second Super Roast Battle's terrible mismanagement giving Penguin
I can
Zero
only feel
a
the secondhand
fresh
embarrassment
video.
At
of
first
the
I thought
audience
this was
there.
staged, because it looks like something straight out of the WWE. I was half expecting Stone Cold Steve Austin to come out with a beer and a chair and hit Def Noodles in the back with it.
With comments such as, "I like how Charlie has had this same format and style for years, and is still funnier than Def Noodles would ever be. Def Noodles' image was dying with every passing hour." The headshot came with Penguin Zero's fourth Def Noodles video, totaling over 10 million views worth of Def Noodles criticism, which could have easily been avoided by ignoring Critical's first video. When combined with all of his previous controversy, Def Noodles' monthly viewership went from 4 million to 400,000, although despite already losing 90% of his fan base, he somehow still had further to fall. His news-related content became low-effort challenge videos, while an attempt to pivot to interviews also failed to make a difference. More than 1 year after the roast battle incident, every video was still getting at least 50% dislikes, and a bunch of comments along the lines of, 1.5k views in 15 hours is crazy, but it's mind-blowing when you realize Dennis has over 500k subs. Who's watching these videos? Lining up interviews for a non-existent audience wasn't exactly worth it, so he'd instead fall in love with his own failure by uploading a video titled Unsubscribe Challenge.
I want to challenge everybody who's watching this video and is subscribed to this channel to unsubscribe. I want to see if we can break the record for being the most unsubscribed channel in the history of this platform.
This would mark the first of many insane
That
Def
Kramer
Noodles
picture in the back is
ramblings,
crazy.
including I'm Fat, I'm a Loser, and of course the Unsubscribe Challenge Part 2,
You know, I don't ask for much in life. One of those things would be for you to unsubscribe right now.
which many of his audience were happy to oblige. Over on Reddit, OKP compiled 20 different videos, which failed to achieve a single view despite being hours old, while a different user questioned if Def Noodles had the least watched channel views to subscribers ratio. Ironically, Def Noodles has since tried to mirror Penguin Zero by launching Def Noodles New, and while some of his takes are surprisingly well put, his thumbnail game and more notably his reputation are still in need of some serious work.
Alright, you guys, so that was Sunny V2. He beefed with Critical, then lost 99% of his audience. God dang! Crazy. Crazy. So maybe him back at the Laugh Factory, I presume. Not his own, like, roast comedy thing, but, like, before that when he was doing stand-up, I think that probably was audio clapping, now that I think about it. But it's crazy, bro. But y'all let me know your thoughts about it down in the comment section down below. Y'all know it's Boomer and Jura watching Bully Star. Make sure to leave a like, support the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new. Make sure to sub up, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. 100. Boom! Yeah.